We, you know what? Nothing is going to change until we own up or until we fess up. Is this not true? We have got to charge. We've got to own it. If you've got a problem, if you've got cancer, you're never going to cure it until you admit that you have the problem. Certainly AA is all about that as well. So we got to look at some of our systems and how they failed. I know, at least I was told that in North Carolina, fortunately it failed, that we were going to give students $1,000 for studying, for learning. Are you kidding me? We're bribing our kids, and apparently in Texas they're already doing this. I thought learning was a privilege. I thought it was something that it was an opportunity that we were blessed with. I remember my mother literally walking 20 miles to school because it was an opportunity. Nobody had to pay her. We have to change what we're rewarding. And my question to you is, what are you rewarding? I don't care if you're a supervisor, a driver, a mechanic. It really doesn't matter. What are you rewarding? Because what you reward is what you're going to get. Let me tell you a story. Got a lot of little streams and lakes in Wisconsin, and I remember some of my relatives were fishing. And a little snake came up in the water, and they had a little bit of Jim Beam with them, you know, a little whiskey, brandy, a whole bunch of stuff. That's how they do it in Wisconsin. And so they kind of just dabbed a little on the snake's tongue. After, you know, he knocked on the boat, he got his little Jim Beam, and guess what happened? 2 seconds later, there were 2 knocks on the boat. You know, he had already learned how to get what he wanted. What are you rewarding? Because here is what concerns me. I'm not here to shame anybody, but I am here to enlighten and make a difference and to put a fire in your belly. Do you know, and I checked it out with the supervisor of this district, and he is not for it. There is a district, a school district, if we can have that bus slide. There is a school district that actually is taking taxpayers' dollars to put extra buses out. You know what for? Because they have a gang problem. And it's called the Crips and the Bloods. And they have a special bus for the Crips and a special bus for the Bloods. I'm going to ask you, who's in charge here? Who's running the show? We are adapting to the needs of a bunch of Crips and Bloods. Are you kidding me? And it is a fact. And you're wondering what has to change. No, you know what you do? You say, you don't have to love him. I don't care. You're a Crip, you're a Blood. You don't have to love each other. You don't even have to sit next to each other on this bus. But if you're going to ride the bus, you're going to behave. And if you don't, you can walk to school. We don't start showering more money at them with more school buses. So these are the things that we really have to address. Now, obviously things are out of control. And people have to learn, as adults, we've become a little bit wimpy. As supervisors, we've become wimpy. As parents, we have to learn to say no. I mean, like, what part of no do you not understand? We need to set limits. We need to set boundaries. Because one of the reasons we have so much acting out is because kids have anxiety. You know why they have anxiety? Because they don't have boundaries. They're testing them, and they don't know where they are because we're not setting them. And so the more they feel anxiety, guess what they do? They act out. And one of the forms of acting out is bullying in school, on buses, or wherever the opportunity is. And the opportunity is really great on buses because they have a captive audience. They can't run any place. And you got a driver that's trying to stay on the road. So there is a challenge. And we need to start learning to say no. Now, the other thing you need to know is there's one thing that controls us more than anything else. And what do you think that might be? What is that? What did she say? Money. Yeah. I guess money has a little bit of influence, I would say so. But from a more personal standpoint, it's habits. First, we make our habits, and then our habits make us. If any of you have ever smoked, isn't it true? First, you chose to smoke, and guess who took control? I know people, I do hypnosis to help people lose weight, to quit smoking, and it's tough because your mind is like a computer. It gets programmed. You have to reboot it. And it's not easy. But here's why habits at an early age are so important. Whatever a child's activities are at an early age gets hardwired. So if a child is playing